Welcome to Lilybug's Library. My name's Linda, and welcome to December. So today we're going to start our daily videos for December. I'm going to do them each day so we can do our Advent calendar. So each day we'll just talk about something different. Sometimes it'll be book related, sometimes it won't. Today we're going to talk about the 10 non-booktubers that I think are worth watching. Only my opinion, of course. There is like a million plus YouTubers out there, and I'm sure there's, something for everyone. But anyway, if you're watching this channel, we may share some similar interests, so maybe you'll like some of what I've chose. But first, let's get to our tea advent calendar. And I've got my May Your Days Be Merry and Bright mug, which is a little big for tea, but I'm going to make it work. And I brought along a tea ball because I have no idea what's in there, whether it's going to be loose tea, which I assume not, or whether it's going to be loose tea but in a bag. So we'll see. Okay, so we're going to pop out this one. And, oh, good, it is in a bag. That's good. All right, so let's see what it says. It's called Secret Garden Party. Black tea, rose petals, lavender, calendula petals, and vanilla bean. All right, so I tend to try to save those little stickers because I have a bunch of them up in my cupboard for the ones that I really like that I will buy again. So, and for those of you who wonder why I still sound less than stellar, it's because it turns out it wasn't just a cold I had, it was COVID. So wonderful husband and I are recovering from that, and it hasn't been too bad. It's there are some things that are certainly lingering, and but it could have been much worse. So let me tuck everything in my tea ball here. And they give you, I don't know, I don't want to drop any, but you can see it's like enough for a cup of tea. Pick up the little bits I just dropped here. Okay, so I'm going to put that all in there and close that up, and we're going to let that steep in the cup. And we'll attach the little owl to the cup there. Okay, so while that is steeping, we'll talk a little bit about non-booktubers on YouTube. So the first one I've really loved, I tend to watch her a lot, is Mia Maples. No, Maples? Maples. Mia Maples, sorry. And she is, I read too many books, right? So it should be Marple instead of Maple. But so yeah, Mia Maples. And she has two channels. One is a little older, I think. But she's so fun to watch. I mean, she does, she'll take on different trends. Like if there's something that's on TikTok that, she thought was fun, she'll do, whatever that was and then tape it. She has a great relationship with her mom who, they call Mama Maples on there. And you'll see the mother, well, I've seen her whole family at this point, but you'll see her mother on there quite often. And sometimes they'll kind of prank each other. Mia will make all kinds of things and tell her, there'll be things that look like they came from Etsy, but really Mia made them. And then she'll show them to her mom and they'll review them and stuff. But, and then in the end, she'll tell her mom that, she was the one that made them all. Oftentimes her mom is very complimentary of all this stuff, and Mia does a great job making it. At one point she made, I think it was like 3 or 4 different cakes. And, they were judging the cakes, whether they were from a 1-star bakery or a 5-star bakery, and Mia actually made them all. But she also does a lot of fashion sort of videos where she she bought all the dresses that were being advertised on Pinterest or something, and then when they came, and some of them were very expensive, and when they came, she would like model them all and give her opinion on them. And she's just, yeah, she's a lot of fun to watch, and she and her mom have a lot of fun together, and I've really been enjoying her. So that's one. The next one is Jade the Sable GSD. So it's a German Shepherd dog. So Jade the Sable is one of the German Shepherds on the channel. There's actually Jade, Jasper, and Jet, and this family owns all three of them. And they all look slightly different and slightly different sizes. So you watch long enough, you do get so you can, and much definitely different personalities. So you watch long enough, you can get to tell the difference between the three of them. And so some of that one has been, them going places like they're at the beach in the water, or they're going on trips and different things. But a lot of it too is them testing different food. So they're very well looked after, and so there's they're very careful with their diets, and they know exactly what they can and can't eat. But they'll put things in front of them that they know they can eat. And one dog is very big on, just gobbling up anything that's in front of them. And then one of the other ones doesn't really want much of anything. Like he's not willing to try a vegetable. He's doesn't want anything to do with that. And the other one's kind of in the middle. And they're fun to watch. They're just interesting. And there was one time where the owner hid and in a dark room, and said nothing, and then let the shepherds in. So then they had to find her, and so it was interesting that she had like a night light camera. What is it they call those? Anyway, whatever. One of those cameras that you sees things in the dark. So she had one of those, and so they're running around and sniffing, to try to find her. And they do find her, of course, but it's cute to watch, all the different things that they do. And you'll notice that dogs are a theme with the channels that I watch. No offense to my cats. Uh, but you always like to watch what you don't have, right? And so the next one is called The Girl with the Dogs. I can't remember the name of the woman who runs it. Yeah, it, I'm sure it's come up at some point, but I really don't remember. But she is a dog groomer, and she um, grooms dogs for free for shelters, and for people who really need it for whatever reason. Sometimes if the dog has a particular type of coat, or if it's if their coat's in really bad shape, sometimes groomers won't take them. And so she takes some of those very difficult cases, as well as some that are like regular clients. But she's fun to watch as well, and it's really had me. I really developed an interest in all the different grooming techniques and different coats and different breeds, and you really get to understand what different breeds are like. So she does big dogs, little dogs. I mean, I've seen her do a Great Dane. I've seen her do little tiny puppies. So she's a lot of fun to watch, and I've developed a whole other language watching her. She talks about furnadoes, where the fur is flying everywhere, and murder mittens, which is what she says cats have. And yeah, so just cute little things like that. She also has her own line of dog grooming products. So yeah, she's a lot of fun to watch. And again, she has two channels. She has Girl with the Dogs and Girl with the Dogs too. I'm not sure why people separate channels like that, but anyway, they're both really good. So there's that one. So the next one is a little more personal, I guess. It's Bob and Brad, and they call themselves the best physiotherapists on the internet, in their opinion. So, but they are really good to watch. I mean, I have my own physiotherapist who I think is amazing, but this is also a good channel for a few extra type of exercises or to explain why certain things, happen, or, the best way to walk up and down stairs if you're having mobility problems or balance problems. So they're a lot of fun. And it's actually, uh, it was Bob and Brad, and still is, the channel still is, but now there's an additional person with them. You know me and names. Could be Michael, maybe. Matthew? No, pretty sure. Anyway, because one of them has, I can't remember what the illness is, but he has something so that he's not able to talk well anymore, and I think it affects some of his mobility as well. So he's kind of still in the background helping out, but on camera is this other gentleman as well. But yeah, really good advice, and as fun as you can make physiotherapy. I mean, they make it fun. So the next one, sorry. The next one is Curtis Adams, who I really enjoy. He is a fitness trainer, I guess is what you'd call him. Excuse me. We're going to try the tea. Okay. Maybe the soothing tea will help. All right. Still looks a little, maybe it should sit a little longer, but we'll try it. It's not bad. It's, I think I could taste like a hint of, almost tastes like cherry or something. I'm so sorry. Just give me 1 second. Okay, after a 5-minute long coughing fit, we're back. I was looking to see what it was. Oh, I think it's the vanilla bean maybe that's making it taste a bit sweet. I mean, there is like rose and lavender and calendula and stuff in there too, which are all a little bit sweet. But I definitely think that's probably what's doing it. But yeah, it's actually very good. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so I was starting to talk about Curtis Adams. So he is a physical fitness trainer for people who are beginners or seniors or both. And I believe he's someplace in Florida. So a lot of his videos that he does of little exercise routines are outside in the sunshine, and it's, summer there all the time. So it's nice. So he does some strength training, he does some cardio, some balance exercises, and he does some of them so that one person's in a chair and doing the exercises that way, and then another person is showing something more advanced and they're standing up and doing it. Um, all really good for, people who are, don't exercise often, or who have mobility issues, or who are just older and find don't have the balance they used to. So he's great at it, and he's got a good energy, and I really enjoy watching him and watching the people who he works with. Excuse me. A lot of times um, there was one lady in one of his videos, and it's a fairly old video, but they were doing the exercise bands, and one lady was doing them in a chair, and one lady was standing up doing them. And the lady who was in the chair just made me smile so much because she looked like she was having such a good time. I have no idea if she really was, but if not, she's a great actress, because she had this big smile on her face the whole time. So that was nice. Can't say I smile a lot when I do exercises, so I really appreciated that. So the next one is called Good Boy Ollie, and it's, as you might have guessed by the title, it's this dog named Ollie, and now he has a brother named Potato. They just call him Tato. Sometimes they call him Little Raptor because he's still young, and he's like, chomping on everything, right? And but Good Boy Ollie kind of fell in love with this dog the first time I saw him. You may know him as this dog that was on the internet who fell in love with his pumpkin. So that's how I first saw him. There was a pumpkin they went out and picked a pumpkin for fall last year, I think. and he carried this pumpkin around everywhere. And then he slept with it, everything. And then when the pumpkin started to kind of, get a little soft, they put it in a basket and he carried the basket everywhere. And then eventually, of course, the pumpkin, rotted. And they ended up getting him a stuffed pumpkin. And so then this year they planted pumpkin seeds and grew more pumpkins. And so yeah, it's been really cute to watch him and his adventures and his new brother Tato and what they get into. And they even have a little bucket where he pulls a piece of paper out with his mouth and kind of spits it out onto the floor, and the woman will open it and it'll say on it what they're supposed to do that day. So it could be go to the beach, it could be go to the pet store to get a toy. It could be go to Nanny Biscuits, who I think is either that woman's mother or maybe her husband's mother. But they'll go to her house and they call her Nanny Biscuits because she likes to, give them little dog treats, and usually more than they probably should have. And so it's watching the two of them, and they have their little photo shoots, and it's just adorable. I um, if you're gonna watch things on social media and places like that, I mean, I like those sort of positive things. So about three more here. So the next one is Mel Robbins. You may have heard of Mel Robbins. She's super famous at this point. So with her, it's she's a motivational speaker, and she's done a ton of books. She has a podcast. She has a website. Um, at first I felt like I didn't know who she was, and now I feel like I see her everywhere. So, but she's great to listen to if you have any, uh, if you struggle with anything, which I think we all do. There's always something that we could work on more. So I think she's a great one to watch when it comes to issues with self-esteem or issues with confidence or just how to juggle day-to-day life. You name it, she covers it, and she's very good and very no nonsense and funny, and would highly recommend watching her at least once to see what you think, uh, because she's really says it like it is, and I enjoy it. Um, the next one's a little different. It's called I, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Morgataro or Gatario. The gentleman who does it is his name is Reggie, and he stands on excuse me, he stands on a street corner in I'm guessing it's New York, but I don't know really, someplace, some busy city, and he'll stand there, and maybe it's not even the same city all the time. I don't know, but he'll stand there, and he has a mic, and he has a guitar that he plays, and he invites people to come and sing with him. So it's I'm amazed at the talent that's out there. These people will stop. They'll pick a song. He'll ask them a little bit about their lives, and then they'll sing. And people, tend to be attracted, and will come and stand around taking pictures and whatever, and listening. And yeah, some of the people are just so incredibly talented. And I mean, that's not their job. That's just, they just like to sing. I don't think I've ever, I mean, maybe the ones that aren't really good don't make it on YouTube, but I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen anyone not be good. Um, so yeah, maybe those ones don't make the edit, but either way, it's fun to watch them. And then the last one is called Overlanding Sophia, which I got hooked on when they came through my area of the country. It's this couple from Britain who have two dogs, and yeah, you're sensing a theme, right? Have two dogs, and they live in their RV, and they wanted to go basically across the country and see as much of it as they could. And then the goal was to get to, I think it was Argentina by the end of the year, I believe. So what they were going to do is they shipped the RV to Canada, And the dogs too, I think. And anyway, met it all in Canada in Nova Scotia. And so then they went all across Nova Scotia and the rest of Canada. And I feel like at some point they veered down into the U.S., but I can't remember where exactly they went down. But anyway, so they went through all kinds of different areas. Went through parts of the U.S. down into Mexico, and then now they're making their way around and into Argentina. Anyway, it's whole thing's been fascinating to watch. They show some of the struggles of having an RV, trying to find a place to park, trying to get turned around if they end up on, like a muddy road somewhere, um, trying to find places that allow them to spend the night. Um, they need, water. They need, all kinds of like a dumping station. They need, different things, right, with the RV. So some of it's been really interesting, and the land that they've seen, and how kind some people are, and it's been fascinating to watch. And they have a really good relationship, so it's fun to watch that as well. And their dogs are terrific, and it's you really get kind of caught up in their life, so it's really fun to watch. And particularly if they've been, someplace that you live, it's interesting to see it through a different set of eyes. So I like that. So that is the 10, not in any particular order. They're all great. Just a couple of extra ones for honorable mention, I guess. Uh, so I've also watched a lot of crafting videos. I love to craft, and especially this time of year. So there's one in particular called Creative on the Cheap, and she does a lot of different crafts with things from the dollar store, just kind of jazzing them up and making them look a little more high end or a little different. And so she's been fun to watch. And I've got there's one that is a singing duo. They're called the Hound and the Fox, and they're trying to think who they'd be like. I don't know really. I mean, I guess if you're old enough to remember the Carpenters, I guess that would be as close as I could get you. But still not quite that style, like more modern than that. But they're quite mellow, and the sound of their voices together and the videos that they do on YouTube, they're amazing. And so I really recommend them as well, especially this time of year, because I know that they do some different Christmas carols, and some are like a mashup of two different carols, which is kind of neat sometimes. So anyway, those are some of the people that I watch and some of the channels that are not booktubers. We'll get to the booktubers another day, but for today we did the ones that weren't. As for my reading, I'm still working on the first few books for the Christmas December books. And I think I've got maybe two finished, which is not bad since it's only the 1st of December. And so we'll talk about those later on in the month. And I think the tea for today turned out to be pretty good. So I'm going to finish my cuppa and get ready for work. And I hope everybody has a great day, and I hope you're all feeling well. And we will see you tomorrow for a new cup of tea. All right. Bye bye, friends.